Tours. I'm Nick. Come with me along my tours of Niagara Falls and a special visit to Niagara-On-The-Lake. Let's go! Niagara Falls is at the southern end of the Niagara Gorge. It's about 27 kilometers or 17 miles north-northwest of Buffalo, New York, and 121 kilometers or 75 miles south-southeast of Toronto. The largest of the three falls is called the Horseshoe Falls, also known as the Canadian Falls, which straddles the international border of two countries. The Horseshoe Falls drops about 57 meters or 187 feet. The Horseshoe Falls are about 790 meters or 2,590 feet wide. The smaller American Falls and Bridal Veil Falls lie within the United States. The Bridal Veil Falls are separated from the Horseshoe Falls by Goat Island, and from the American Falls by Luna Island, with both islands situated in New York. While the height of the American Falls varies between 21 and 30 meters, or 69 and 98 feet, because of the presence of giant boulders at the base. While the American Falls are 320 meters, or 1,050 feet wide, the distance between the American extremity of the Niagara Falls and the Canadian extremity is 3,409 feet, or 1,039 meters. Located on the Niagara River, which drains Lake Erie into Lake Ontario, the combined falls has the highest flow rate of any waterfall in North America that has a vertical drop of more than 50 meters or 160 feet. Horseshoe Falls is the most powerful waterfall in North America as measured by flow rate. The oldest and best known tourist attraction at Niagara Falls is Maid of the Mist boat cruise, named for an ancient Angara Indian mystical creature, which has carried passengers into the rapids immediately below the falls since 1846. Cruise boats operate from both sides of the falls, with Maid of the Mist operating from the American side, and Hornblower Cruises originally Maid of the Mist until 2014 from the Canadian side. With a 20-minute voyage to the falls by boat, the tour gives you amazing views of the falls, and you get up close and personal with them. Niagara Falls was formed when glaciers receded at the end of the Wisconsin Glaciation, or the last ice age, and water from the newly formed Great Lakes carved a path through the Niagara Escarpment en route to the Atlantic Ocean. The peak flow over Horseshoe Falls was recorded at 6,400 cubic meters or 230,000 cubic feet per second. The average annual flow rate is 2,400 cubic meters or 85,000 cubic feet per second. Since the flow is a direct function of the Lake Erie water elevation, it typically peaks in late spring or early summer. Queen Victoria Place Restaurant was constructed in 1904 with a lovely restaurant and souvenir shop inside. With lots of hotels in the area with great views, it's hard to pick one that's the best. With also 2 casinos on the Canadian side, there's a lot more to do here. Now to Skylon Tower. Opened to the public in October 1965, the height of the tower is 520 feet or 160 meters. There are 3 yellow bug elevators with speeds of 500 feet or 52 meters per minute, with an observation deck to get the best views of the falls and the area. It also has a 265-person dining room with a revolving floor. Weird. That sounds like another place I know. On October 24th, 1901, 63-year-old Michigan school teacher Annie Edison Taylor became the first person to go over the falls in a barrel as a publicity stunt. She survived, bleeding, but otherwise unharmed. Soon after exiting the barrel, she said, "No one ought ever do that again." Before Taylor's attempt on October 19th, her domestic cat named Igira was sent over the Horseshoe Falls in her barrel to test its strength. Controversy to rumors at the time, the cat survived the plunge unharmed and later posed with Taylor in a photograph. Since Taylor's historic ride, over a dozen people have intentionally gone over the falls in or on a device, despite her advice. Some have survived unharmed, but others have drowned or been severely injured. Survivors face charges and stiff fines, as it is now illegal on both sides of the border to attempt to go over the falls. There's a small daredevil exhibit next to the Skylon Tower. On June 15, 2012, high wire artist Nick Wallenda became the first person to walk across the falls area in 116 years. After receiving special permission from both governments, the full length of his tightrope was 1,800 feet or 550 meters. Wallenda crossed near the brink of the Horseshoe Falls, unlike walkers who had crossed further downstream. According to Wallenda, it was the longest unsupported tightrope walk in history. He even carried his passport on the trip and was required to present it upon arrival on the Canadian side of the falls. The enormous energy of Niagara Falls has been recognized as a potential source of power. The first known effort to harness the water was in 1759, when Daniel John Kerr built a small canal above the falls to power his sawmill. In August 2005, the Ontario Power Generation started a major civil engineer project called the Niagara Tunnel Project to increase power production. It was officially placed into service in March 2013, helping to increase the generating complex nameplate capacity by 150 megawatts. The tunnel provides new hydroelectricity to approximately 160,000 homes. Another fun part of Niagara Falls area is Clifton Hill. Just steps from the falls, you can revel in dazzling sights, sounds, and tastes, from thrilling rides, games, and attractions to an array of dining places for appetites large and small, with places like Coca-Cola Store, Hershey's Store, Guinness World Records Museum, where you can see the world's tallest man, and others. Movieland, Wax Museum of the Stars. Snap a selfie with your favorite star. The Great Canadian Midway, with all the games you can think of to win prizes. 2. Ripley's Believe It or Not, with over 400 unbelievable exhibits. Why not have a race at Niagara Speedway? As they say, it's like go-karts on steroids. Finish the night off at the Skywheel. Soar 175 feet or 53 meters above the falls for the most spectacular views. Also, the Niagara area has some beautiful gardens. You can also take a stop at the Floral Clock, which is a real clock with beautiful floral designs changed yearly. Now, let's head on over to Niagara-on-the-Lake. 17 kilometers or 10 miles from Niagara Falls. Niagara-on-the-Lake is a town in Ontario, Canada. It is located on the Niagara Peninsula at the point where the Niagara River meets Lake Ontario, with spectacular views of Lake Ontario, with clear blue waters to swim in. On a clear day, looking over the water of Lake Ontario, in the distance, you might be able to see Toronto, Ontario. Welcome to the quaint little town of Niagara-on-the-Lake, with shops, bakeries, and small restaurants. There's lots to see and do in this quaint little town. The Prince of Wales Hotel stands as a landmark in historic Niagara-on-the-Lake history. The Prince of Wales Hotel, its name was chosen in honor of the 1901 visit of the Duke and Duchess of York, who were later crowned King George V and Queen Mary. A few stores you can find in town are some bakeries, or for good ice cream, go to Cow's. Also, Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory, so good. Feeling a little festive? Need some new decorations for your Christmas tree? Go to Just Christmas, open 365 days a year. The Niagara Peninsula is the largest wine-producing region in Canada, spread across 5,500 hectares or 13,600 acres of land. The growing region is the largest viticultural area in Canada. The growing region encompasses most of the Niagara Peninsula, bounded by Lake Ontario to the north, the Niagara River to the east, the Welland River to the south, and the city of Hamilton to the west. With over 50 different wineries in the Niagara-on-the-Lake region, a few of the most popular ones, Jackson Triggs, Peller Estate, Inniskillen, Trias, and Wayne Gretzky.